Hey everybody, it's the KGM Chronicles. I am your humble host, the KHDM himself, Natan. And, ow. Probably wondering why I haven't done videos in a while. Well, as you can see, yeah, I kind of messed up my cheek about a week ago. Oh. Alright. At any rate, the two books I'm going to need for this, obviously, for this discussion, is the Dungeon Master's book and the Monster Vault. Two favorite books as a DM. Although, don't get me wrong, the Player's Handbooks, both, they've got some good stuff in here. Like, for a shot, I mean, seriously, there's additional magic items, there's the weapons, there's the armor, there's currency rate. You don't get that. I mean, you get some magic items in this, but you don't get a lot, so that adds more to it. At any rate, I still gotta review the Heroes of the Forgotten Kings book, but I don't have the rules compendium yet, so it's gonna be a while. At any rate, yeah, let's see if I can find the experience table real quick. Like, how much you divide the, okay, EXP rewards, 240. Say you are building a level, oh gosh, say you're gonna build a level 4 encounter for 5 players, alright? 175 times 5. So you're gonna need about 875. Now, a lot of DMs that are still kind of new to this whole gig, a lot of DMs will look through the books, look through their monster manuals, look through the monster vaults, or look through their bestiaries or their fiend folios, you know, whatever edition you're using. For me, it's 4th edition, 'cause that's the only one I actually have physical copies of that I can show you guys. But at any rate, let's see. At least physical copies that are on hand. Let me state that. But at any rate, they'll look through, when they're building an encounter, they'll see, if they're building a level 4, they've got 875 experience cap for, setting a level 4. Any higher, it's level 5. Now, they'll look for the leader, naturally. In this case, there's a Hobgoblin Warmonger at level 4, the Goblin Hex Hurler, the Hobgoblin Beastmaster. So, it's going to be goblins or hobgoblins for the bosses, you know, the big controllers. I mean, you can mod human controllers, but really, it's going to be one of those. So, we're going to go with the Warmonger. So, 158. And yeah, you probably just heard my brother in the background. I don't care. He's playing League of Legends. At any rate, that's going to be 175. Okay, you have your leader. Where's the other experience going to come from? Let's see. Page 64, we'll go with the White Dragon. The fledgling White Dragon. That alone is 500. See what I did there? The problem is that's a solo creature. So while 500 is great, it's a solo. And you can't really run a solo out there with a controller, because the solo can just do whatever it wants. That's a leader type right there. So if that takes up most of your experience budget, then you're set. But if it doesn't, then, you know, you're looking at a whole new ball game. Because like 875, at least you're 375 put together in a secondary group. At any rate, we're gonna tack on. We're gonna look at Bugbear Thug. So 159. Thug is 175. 525. Add on a skirmisher. That's going to be 200. That's 325, and that's only 3 monsters. Just because I've already done this, owlbear. $350. Oops. That's gonna go over the limit. But that's only 4 creatures, and it's a level 5 encounter. So, it is possible to do a level 5 encounter. Really, I'm trying for level 4, but you saw what I can do. It's only 4 creatures against the 5 players and possibly a couple companion characters at most. Or familiars as well. I can't forget that. But at any rate, it's a pretty well done encounter. I mean, that's 4 creatures. Hobgoblin, Bugbear. Oh, who else did I say? Gosh dang it, who else did I include in that list? And minus the 350 for the owlbear. That's 150. Well, let's look at the drakes here. Bingo, spitting drake. Perfect level 5 encounter, level 4 encounter. So, you know, it's not hard. There's only like 4 creatures there. Spitting drake, hobgoblin warmonger, bugbear, thug, and the owlbear. Those 4, and you've got a level 4 encounter right there. That's only 4 against 5 or 6, anywhere from 5 to 8 characters on the player side. That definitely, it's not soft by any stretch. You just look at the strength of the owlbear, it's definitely not soft. My players with my current campaign, they actually had a rough go. Or no, it was easier for them to handle the owlbear than it was the encounter before that. And that's a perfect example for this narrative, for this episode. As, what had happened is, my sword mage, the group's defender, okay, this is the problem. He was doing his job. He was taking the damage. He was tanking. But the problem was the tank got overwhelmed by the damages of the enemies. There was an Etten, and then there was like 4 human berserkers, or barbarians, or as they're supposed to be in the adventure. Karen of the Winter King from the Monster Vault. I wanted to give them something fun and challenging right off the bat, because it's level 2 or level 3 characters, but they are so optimized that I had to put them in something hard right off the bat. Because it's like, these guys are going to tear through this. And so far they have. I mean, the first adventure I ran them through, they destroyed it. And I was like, crap, what am I going to do? Oh, I know. And it's like, there's one that isn't even fully optimized to the max. And there's another we got to level up to catch up to the party. But at any rate, the one that's up, not even optimized to the max, that had the greatest moment, the first week, when they crit the zombie boss that was the final boss of that dungeon that they were in for week 1. He crit that, killed it instantly because it's a crit, you know. And then they stumbled upon a glass-cased acid pit. Thankfully. Glass covered. But plexiglass, okay? Imagine that getting in D&D. But it's like, how's the giant zombie gonna be able to walk over that thing? It's like, dong, 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 dong. Like, the problem is I'm too trigger happy with traps, but that's for another episode. But at any rate, back to the Etten and the barbarians. My sword mage was doing his job. He was taking the damage. Again, unfortunately, the barbarians started to overwhelm him. And this was after the companion character had crit for the second time in a row on using his domination move, Silver Tongue Deception, which dominated both heads of the Etten because it was a crit. It's supposed to only last 1 turn, but he crit. Come on. How do you crit hit and not give some sort of bonus? I mean, seriously. Of course, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I was playing the character, but hey, as a DM, you're trying to help the party. You don't want the party to lose unless you're in a lair assault. Then you're both trying to win. You're trying to win as the DM running the creatures. You want the monsters to win. You want the players to win when you're just telling a story. Lair assault, all out. Story, go for the team win. So, I mean, you're trying to write the story, and these guys are part of it. You don't want them overwhelmed, right? This one is a case where I became hesitant because the barbarians hit really hard on my sword mage, and he got knocked out. Like, he was dying. The character was dying, and I was panicking so bad, because, like, that's the second time I've ever had a character get in the dying state. First time was my own character, so, that one's scarier, but I was also DM that time. If you've seen this story, Natan vs. the Hulk, you know what I'm talking about. But if you haven't yet, go check it out, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But at any rate, he took a lot of damage, and that really left me scared. So, thankfully, we got him out of it. He was healed. Almost lost the Rune Priest and the companion character the next fight. Because there's a gnome illusionist in that party, in the enemy party, and we know how tricky gnomes can be. So, yeah, that one wasn't fun either, but that encounter wasn't as hard as the last one. And the last one, the whole session, it was just encounters that were straight out of the book, straight out of the adventure module. So I wasn't even running any modified modules. Like, I didn't even have to nerf anything. These guys just tore through it. And, like, they actually asked me after right at the end of the session, after that fight with the owlbear and the gnome illusionist, they asked me, "Did you nerf the owlbear?" I'm like, "No, I know nerf. I know nerf. I did not nerf that thing. You guys just tore through it." And so they were kind of surprised by that. I was like, yes. But they don't know what else is lurking in that dungeon. So if they're not careful, they're going to get ambushed. Again, because technically the encounter with the Etten was an ambush. But, you know, one of the sword mage actually knows that area pretty well, so he might be able to guide the party back around for more exploration, snatch up some more stuff. But I don't know. I mean, it all depends on what they plan out. So, but yeah, that'll actually do it for this episode. Next time I don't know if it'll be a DM tips or if it'll just be an actual story. But, you know, just something fun, random that occurred for me in D&D. But next time it might be after this week's session. I know I'll be doing more than one during spring break, which is next week for me. But yeah, until next time, I'm heading back to the cage. This is your host, Anton. Catch you next time, ladies and gentlemen.